I'm Neil Edmonds. I'm the tutor on the Project Finance Restructuring course. I'd like to tell you a little about the course today and some background as to what you may learn and gain if you join the course. The course has effectively got a twofold aspiration. First one is simply to look at the process of project finance restructuring, to understand all the mechanics and the documentation and the process that we undertake if a project goes into default. The trigger events, the standstill agreements, the debt restructuring negotiations, and actually affecting those restructuring. This will be done through illustrations through a number of case studies that have events have actually happened, and we'll refer back using those case studies to the structuring techniques that we use within project finance. So in some ways, a lot of the course will be a way of reinforcing how our project finance techniques are used and how, with clear case studies, how those techniques that we use in project finance help us to mitigate or to reduce the likelihood of default, but also enable us to encourage or ramp up our recoveries in the event of a default occurs. In addition to the case studies of transactions that have actually happened, we'll have a very large portion of the course is based upon an interactive case study that's called Victoria Hydro Project. Now, this is a project that has been put together based upon my experience. It's entirely fictitious, but it's based on my experience, and it has a whole series of issues that come out over the life of the transaction. You'll be given a 30-page document as pre-reading, and that describes the project in quite some detail. And then when the course occurs, what will happen is you'll be given updates on events over the next 2 to 3 years as the project is built out. The participants will be split into 4 teams. The first one being the project company, the second one being the lenders, the third team is the off-taker and the government, and the fourth one is the EPC contractor. And what we will do is each of those teams will respond to Victoria, to the Hydro project as the events occur, ultimately leading up to a position where the transaction will need to be restructured. But in order to make it very lifelike, or to give you an understanding of different people's motivations, we'll actually be swapping the roles. So you may start off as being the lender, but then you'll be the borrower and maybe the EPC contractor. Because I think one of the key issues in terms of restructuring a project financing transaction is understanding the motivation of the different parties around the table. And the case study is designed to give you that understanding, whilst also putting into practice some of the lessons that we've learned during the course in terms of the whole process of restructuring. It's actually a great deal of fun. We've done the course several times before, and the interaction between the parties, the atmosphere in the room, actually means that the learning environment is quite fun, quite pleasant, which I think reinforces the whole learning process. I hope you enjoy the course. Thank you.